Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to our online Masters of Business Administration information session. My name is Chloe Silva, and I am an enrollment specialist with the Online and Continuing Education Department. And with me today, I have Julie Anderson, who is also an enrollment specialist. On today's session agenda, we are going to do an introduction to online learning, an overview of the programs, discuss admission requirements, how to finance your education, and go over some helpful resources. At the end, we will have questions and discussions. The Charlton College of Business is AACSB accredited for adhering to high standards of quality faculty, research with real-world impact, and rigorous benchmarks for program quality. We're also ranked top 27% in the nation for online MBA and MS in business programs by the U.S. News and World Report ranks. So what is asynchronous learning? All of our programs are going to be in an asynchronous learning format, which basically means that you are not required to log on a specific day or time. So at the beginning of the semester, you're going to receive your syllabus, which will outline all of your assignments for the semester. You will want to make sure you're submitting your assignments in on time, but when you're logging on to do so is very flexible. So what will happen is your professor will upload pre-recorded lectures. You'll be able to view that and then complete your assignments throughout the week. That being said, even though you are completing this at home and online, you still have access to your professors, so you can still do office hours, you can email them, you can collaborate with your teammates. Most courses you're going to find weekly discussion boards so that you can talk to your classmates. So even though you're at home, you are definitely still very connected to those in your course and your professor. On top of that, the same full-time faculty who teach our on-campus programs are also teaching our online programs. So you're also getting the exact same faculty, resources, education curriculum that any of our on-campus students would have. One of the questions we receive a lot is, will my degree say that I completed it online? It will not. It is going to just say your program, and again, that is because you're receiving the exact same curriculum that any of our on-campus students are receiving. So it's super great. It's very flexible. Again, you can attend class from anywhere. You can still communicate regularly with your classmates, and you're still building that network even though you're doing it from home. So our course schedules. We offer courses all year round, so fall, spring, summer, and winter. Really, whenever you're ready to take a class, we have one available for you. So in the fall and spring, you can expect us to have 7 or 14-week courses. Typically for our graduate business courses, you can expect for those courses to be 14 weeks in the fall and spring. In the summer, we offer 3, 5, and 7-week sessions. So these are accelerated courses. It allows you to get 3 credits in those shortened weeks. They are definitely intense. Again, you're condensing 14 weeks of work into either 3, 5, or 7-week sessions, but it's a great way to get courses done quickly throughout the summer if you're looking to speed things up. And then in the winter, we have 3-week sessions as well. Again, our graduate program courses, you're typically not going to see those in the 3-week program just because they are, more intense than an undergraduate course. But in the summer, you'll definitely see those 5 and 7-week courses for those graduate business courses. Our program is designed to support the adult learner, so we understand that you guys are most likely working or have family responsibilities, and might not be able to, complete these courses as many courses as you necessarily did each semester during your undergrad. So if you want to only take 1 course a semester, if you want to take 2, it's very flexible. So say you want to start in the fall, you haven't been in school in a while, and you're like, you know what, I just want to do 1, see how I do. You can do that. And then maybe in the spring, you're like, you know what, this was a breeze, I want to take 2. You have the flexibility to switch things up. Obviously, however many courses you take a semester does factor into the duration of the program. But again, it's very flexible. So if you're looking to do it faster, you can. If you're looking to do it at a slower pace, you have that option as well. So the MBA curriculum is made up of 10 courses. So out of that 10 courses, you're going to have 7 core courses. Those consist of Accounting 650, which is accounting for decision makers, Finance 650, finance for decision making, Marketing 650, marketing strategy, MIS 650, information technology management. You have Management 650, which is advanced organizational behavior, POM 651, which is creating value through operations analysis, and then Management 659, strategic management, which is going to be your final capstone. So those are your 7 core courses. Then you get to take 3 elective courses. Those courses, you get to decide which you would like to take out of the options that we provide. You have the option to select a concentration, or you could just take 3 courses that don't necessarily align with each other, but we'll go into that more on the next slide. So these are how you can expect the 10 courses to be. So those 7 core courses and then those 3 elective courses, 10 courses total, 30 credits. However, depending on your previous bachelor's degree, you may be required to do up to 3 additional foundation courses. So these foundation courses consist of Accounting 500, Financial Accounting, POM 500, Statistical Analysis, and Finance 500, Economic Concepts for Managers. So basically what's going to happen is when you apply, the Graduate Review Committee is going to go over all of your transcripts and see if you meet the required accounting, finance, and POM courses and have enough experience and background to take graduate level courses in these fields. So, for example, maybe you got your bachelor's degree in psychology. You most likely didn't have to take accounting or finance in these for a psychology degree. So in that case, you may be required to take these 3 additional foundation courses just to make sure you're all set and have enough knowledge before hopping into the Accounting 650 graduate level course. Now, maybe you did have a business degree and accounting wasn't your strong suit, you got more of a lower grade. You may be required to also take these courses if you didn't have the correct grade requirement during your business bachelor's degree. So every student situation is going to look different. Again, the graduate review committee will go over that. Just because you need accounting doesn't mean you are going to need all 3. So at most, you would have to do 13 courses, but it could be as little as 10. It really just depends on the student. But again, 10 courses for the MBA with a possibility of 3 additional foundation courses. So our MBA concentration. So we have 5 concentrations for our online MBA program that consists of accounting, business analytics, finance, organizational leadership, and supply chain management and information systems. So you are able to select one of these 5 concentrations. However, selecting a concentration is not a requirement. So as we discussed on the previous page, you have 3 elective courses. If you would like to specialize in a specific concentration, for example, let's say organizational leadership, then you will want to select 3 courses that align with that concentration. However, again, it's not a requirement. So maybe you want to just take one accounting class, you want to take a finance class, and then you want to take a business analytics class for your 3 electives. You can do that. It is not a requirement to take a concentration, but it's very flexible and up to you. If you would want to have just a master's in business administration, again, you can just pick 3 elective courses. They don't have to align with one of these concentrations. However, if you do want to specialize in something, if you want to have a master's in business administration with a concentration in accounting, then you will want to make sure the 3 elective courses you are selecting align with the concentration that you are hoping to have. So again, not a requirement, but definitely beneficial if you're looking to add something onto your degree. And this doesn't add any courses. If you pick a concentration, it doesn't add any courses to the program. Again, it's those 3 elective courses are already built into that program for you. So we also offer graduate certificates. We offer these in accounting, business analytics, business foundations, finance, international business, organizational leadership, and supply chain management. So all of our graduate certificates consist of 4 courses, which would be 12 credits. We see that a lot of people who start with this, maybe are debating back and forth if they want to jump into the MBA right away and they start with their certificate. So, again, one of the pros, maybe you haven't been in school for a while and you're like, I don't know if I really want to jump into this whole program. You can do the certificate, start out, take those 4 courses, see how you feel. And if you like it, as long as you receive a B or better in those courses, um, then they can be applied to the Masters of Business Administration program. So it does depend on the certificate you choose from. Again, if typically it's the ones that you can receive a concentration in that you can, transfer in all of those that if you get a B or better, you can transfer all of those courses into the Masters of Business Administration program. And by doing so, it doesn't delay anything. So those 4 courses, instead of having 10 for the Master's of Business Administration, you're going to have 6 left. So it doesn't delay anything. It doesn't cost any more money to start with a certificate versus doing the master's from the beginning. It just allows you to kind of dip your toe in, see if you like it, and then decide if you'd like to move forward. The other big pro that a lot of people love with the graduate certificate program starting out is one of our application requirements for the Masters of Business Administration program is that you have to take the GMAT. So if you have not taken the GMAT and you would not like to, it will be waived if you do one of our graduate certificate programs. So that's definitely another pro to starting with a certificate. Again, if you pass all those 4 courses with a B or better in a qualifying graduate certificate, those can be transferred into the MBA program, and your GMAT will be waived as long as you received a 3.3 or higher on that certificate. Next, I'm going to pass it over to Julie, who's going to discuss student support services.
Thank you, Chloe. So we do offer student support services. We have online student orientation, which is an introduction to university and online learning, available asynchronously upon acceptance. We also offer library services, research support, and gathering of electronic research materials. We also offer something new now. It's 24/7 tutoring support. It's an academic support is available online 24/7 throughout the year. The Office of Student Accessibility Services is an education accommodation for qualifying students. And we also offer Career Center, the career and employment exploration during enrollment and after graduation. The tuition and fees per credit are as follows. So you see the breakdown there. So the tuition is $6.95 per credit. So you would times out by 3 credits. For the MBA, you'll need 10 core courses or 30 credits, which comes out to approximately $20,850. And then we also have the graduate certificate, which is 4 core courses or 12 credits, comes out to approximately $8,340. Now, the tuition and fees are based on the year 2025-2026 academic school year and can change. Financing your education, we have several ways you can finance your education. The first one is financial aid. I tell all my students that want to do MBA to apply for financial aid. You don't have to be a student you don't have to be a student yet to apply. I always tell them to apply first and do the FAFSA form. Financial aid will not be granted until you are actually enrolled in at least 2 classes per semester. So please be aware of that. We also offer payment plans, which you can do monthly installment payment plans into your coin account. You can set it up where you can take it out of your savings or your checking account, or you can pay it in full with a credit card. We also have the veteran educational benefits. We also accept employer tuition reimbursement benefits. So if your employer is willing to pay for your education, we do accept that. And then we also accept corporate partnership, which is 10% tuition credit. So in your application, there's a spot there that asks if you are in a corporate partnership. If you work for South Coast Health, Mass General Brigham's Health, or Amazon, please make sure you click that so you can get your 10% tuition credit. The admission requirements. So you would do your application online. We have the online website there. and it is rolling admissions. And we will need the official college transcripts from your school sent to us. They usually use Student Clearinghouse or they use Parchment. There is an application fee, a statement of purpose, a minimum of 300 words, just explaining why you want to do the MBA program. And then you can also upload your resume. Again, the official transcripts have to come from the school to be official. And we need 2 letters of recommendation, preferably from a manager or supervisor and a professor. And the GMAT is required with option to waive. Admission requirements for international students. We do accept international students into this program as well. The only thing is you might need an English based test. We accept 3 of them. The TOEFL, which is a minimum score of 80, IELTS, a minimum score of 6.5, or Duolingo English exam, which is a minimum score of 105. And these can be found in the website. And there's the website listed on the bottom. You have the CED and the WES evaluation. You'll have those websites. If you have any questions, you can always contact your enrollment specialist for that. The GMAT waiver qualifications, as Chloe spoke about earlier, you do need a bachelor's degree and you have to receive a 3.0 GPA on a 4.0 scale in any major. That will waive your GMAT. Professional licensure or certification requires a test of field-specific knowledge, like the CPA or CFP, relevant to the master's degree sought. If you have 5 years of managerial supervisory work experience, we will need minimum documents requirements for this to show that you were a supervisor or manager. And the graduate certificate, as Chloe stated before, if you earned it from the Charlton College of Business and you received a 3.3 GPA or better, we will waive your GMAT. And the waiver form is available in the application portal after submitting UMass Dartmouth's online application. If you want to keep in touch with us, there's our email address for our online at admissions@umassd.edu or our phone number. That's our main phone number for our online program. If you have any other questions about your application, you can always reach out to the enrollment specialist. They can help you out. That's what we're here for. And this concludes the presentation for the MBA information session. We hope you have a great day.